Hello and welcome back to John's Garage. Today I'll be giving you an overview of what's happened so far in the last couple of months. It's been a while. So to start off, car is the exact same as it was. Yep, hasn't changed much. A new garage door on the old garage because the old one was rubbish and broken. And some slightly newer things you might have spotted in the background. We have an upgrade. Thought I'd go down to the older Hal Fords, spend a bit of money. Got all my tools in here, which is very handy. Imperial that side, a few bits of metric that side. The drawer of screwdrivers, it's very mixed up at the moment. And then 2 drawers of miscellaneous. Saves me having this red box and then that cantilever one down there below it, with a mishmash of everything in it. It's nice to have a bit of organisation, and it's a handy little work surface, as you can see. So today I've been just generally looking around the engine and assessing a head gasket, which will be happening. It's quite bad. It's not blown, but you might not be able to see it. Yeah, you can't really see in there. There is a little bit of like what is in essence milkshake in the top of the radiator, but other than that, it's not blown because it's not, all of this here isn't covered in white, and the dipstick, the oil in the crankcase is still oily. It's not turned into a milkshake. So engine wise, she still runs happily, and basically what I'm going to be fixing soon is a small coolant leak that appears from up here, which is part of the heater matrix system. There's a pipe that goes through in here, and basically the gasket is leaking and it's making it drip off that, well, you can't really see it very well, sorry. You can't, that bolt down there, which occasionally makes it smell a little bit antifreezy, and oh, is that going to set on fiery? No, it's not going to set on fire, it's alright. But yeah, I've got the cylinder, not the cylinder head off, I've got the valve cover off, just to have a look at all this. Surprisingly, for the mileage of the car, all of this appears to be very shiny, and the cam lobes don't look to be worn out to hell, so that's very handy. Everything looks pretty shiny. I took the spark plugs out, as you can see they are over there on that table, and yeah, got some oil pressure up, and yeah, bringing oil to the top of the cylinder head. Seems to be like settling here, as you can see. Let me just wipe my hand. There we go. But yeah, she builds oil pressure. There is a decent amount of oil that collects at the top in these little galleys here. And these like trays, kind of. I call them a tray, which is obviously lubricating the tappet. But yeah, that's that. And yes, you will be seeing a head gasket being done on this in the not too distant future, hopefully, depending on how things go. But yeah, obviously, when there's good news, there's always bad news. Bad news is I noticed a little bit of what looked like fiberglass / filler over on the opposite side. This side's kind of alright up there and along here, and I thought, oh, they just skimmed over a little bit of rust. Yeah, it was a little bit of rust at one point, but this here plate was welded over a hole. As you can see, that's quite rusty on the back half. That plate was stuck over some rust about there where that rag is. So yeah, it's not too good. I just saw that and it was all black paint, and I just thought, oh, little shoddy MOT patch, but doesn't look to be too bad under there. Just put that back. So after I peeled back some of the filler fiberglass, I noticed a little bit of rust. I started scraping away some of the paint. Then I noticed, oh, that's quite surfacey. Then started to have a little go of it with a screwdriver, and then went, oh. Thankfully, you can basically just cut this channel out. I will replace the whole thing. There's no point going to there when all this here is so close to blowing out because it's old and crap. So replace this channel here and there. But the issue is, if that side looks like that, and the passenger side of this car is the side that seems to be the most solid. So then my issue is, if you can see, oh, sorry, the light is absolutely rubbish. You can see all this here, pitching shit and welding, that goes all the way along up there. I don't think anyone ever cut any metal out. I just think they went, whoosh, and then whacked a bead of weld across it and thought, yeah, that looks all right. So I'll have a look from underneath at some point. I'll get both these wings off, and I guarantee this side will be as bad as that side, probably worse. Because they've patched that whole thing, when this side, they just here, put that little square, and that was obviously covering this big hole. So I noticed that bit, and then I went, oh. Then I skipped over the patch, then I went, oh. Went down a bit further and went, oh. And then this patch was only literally like that, and it was, the weld was so shit, I just took a screwdriver, tucked it under it, and just peeled it straight up off. And that arised us with this, which obviously some of the P6 people out there are going to go, that's nothing. And yes, I know, I've seen a lot worse. But yeah, it's quite squishy. So I'll basically be cutting there all along, down to about there, and putting a whole new section along there. Because I guarantee this rail behind here that this rubber here sits on, the rubber's been painted the same colour as the wing, because whoever painted this can't paint. There is a cat around here. Did that. Oh, it appears my cat is in my garage. Hooray. But yes, more rust. It's a rover. You're meant to say the word more rust after you say the word rover. So there's all that, and yeah, just a brief little update, toolbox and stuff, engine work, things that will be happening in the future. Yeah, just a general overview of what will be happening in the near future, and an amazing amount of new rust, which is obviously nothing compared to some cars, but still. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, you know, like, subscribe. It's nice. This makes me feel like I've done something well. Thank you very much, and it's goodbye from me, and goodbye from Kate.